Time, oh, Top FM 105, 3 we on the air. Leader shout, SHEKU Koroma. Roma ready, hit the play. Alex D. We're right there. If you not correct, we go talk and so. Woman, yeah. If you wrong, she go say ah. River G, how decide? For me country with their life. In my people, you're ready. Grand Bass, steady, steady. From push to town, from market to yard. It don't matter strong, we hit it. Till 12 midnight, we fit me and we ready to fight. No palaver, no fear inside. Root must, I bet to the farmer people.
No power, no fear inside, right? This is the program I beg today for this evening here on Top 105.3, and let's say many thanks to the man April Henry Cooper on the first segment of the program I beg today for. So folks, we'd like to welcome all of you to this broadcast. Just keep posted and don't you go away, as we already have our guests on here this evening. So just keep posted, right? I don't think we're going to have time to interact with you. All of them are already here tonight, and we await our co-host, Mr. Archie Wright, to join us here this evening. So if you just join us, those of you in Radio Land, just keep listening, don't you go away. Those of you watching on the social media, just share it live. Let other people be able to join us here this evening. Yeah, share it live. Let people be able to join us. We are live on the air. Okay, Mr. Rice already here. Let's see if we can get in. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Dudes get hot when the debates get tough.
Service here tonight. Yeah.
Alex, how you doing?
I hope the internet is going to give a chance here tonight.
Alex, can you hear me? Ernesto, how you doing?
Mr. Wright, getting me?
I am doing great. I'm doing great. Archie, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Yeah, at least I can hear you now. Yeah. Mr. Wright, how you doing?
Yeah, God's grace, I'm doing great. I'm hoping you are equally doing great too.
Yes, I am.
And I want to say hi to all the
network
people on the platform this evening.
Right. Thank you. Madam Sarufa Walker, how you doing, ma'am? I hope I'm pronouncing them correctly.
Yes, it's Sharufa. You said it correctly. I'm doing well. Give thanks. Thank you.
All right.
Excited to be here.
We're glad to have you too. We're glad to have you. Mr. Bean, how you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good, sir. Just trying to enjoy the Minnesota weather. It's we had some pretty sunny days the past 2 days, and now it's snowing outside.
Oh, come on. You guys are never associated with sun, so please don't give us that story. Minnesota has nothing to do with sun. So please stop it.
Yes, we had a lot of people walking around in t-shirts for 2 days. And
Oh,
then
really?
back to normal again.
Oh, that's good. That's good to know. That's good to know. Well, we want to welcome you all to the platform. This is Top FM 105.3. We broadcast live from the city of Zwedru, Grand GEDEH County, to the rest of the world on Facebook, YouTube, and on our website, topfmliberia.com. And we're also live on the radio. And we're glad to have you here tonight. I have with me my fellow panelists, so we're going to go around the table and we're going to introduce ourselves to you all, and then we'll turn it over to you and you introduce yourself, and then we'll go into the conversation. So I am Archie Wright. I'm the co-host of the show I Beg to Differ on Top FM 105.3. I will be your host for the night, and I will now give it to Mr. Amos Wright to introduce himself.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. My name is Amos D. Wright. I'm on the platform from Monrovia, Liberia. And for the guest, I come from the CSO background. And then I also share the alternative dispute resolution background as well. And it's an interesting thing to share the platform with you this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. The veteran Smith, are you there? I see him, but it's not in his seat. Okay, so when he comes back, we'll have him introduce himself. But please be informed that we do have other panelists here on the platform. We're numbered up to around 8:10. So as they come, we'll bring them into studio and you get to know them as well. So we'll turn the table over to you. Let me say, okay, we do have the veteran Smith now. Veteran Smith, can you please introduce yourself to our guests?
Fred Veteran Smith. It's a pleasure meeting you all. And it seemed like it would be a good exchange and good information will be coming forth from you all. So welcome to Top FM 105.3. I Beg to Differ.
Thank you, Veteran Smith. At this time, I will go to Mr. Bien. Mr. Bien, you have the pleasure to introduce yourself. If you want to do it for the rest of the team, that's fine, but I would love for the rest of the team to do it individually. But I give it up to you, sir. You're muted.
Oh, thank you very much, Archie. My name is Bien, and I am a Liberian by birth. Currently live in the U.S. Background is civil engineer background. Did my bachelor's at the Mankato State University in Minnesota, and also did my master's in civil engineering. It's interesting because as civil engineers, we are the farthest away people from I would say contemporary technology. We're more interested in infrastructure, but I've been interested in just building systems lately, and that's the reason why I'm part of Akibulium. I do pretty much a lot of the getting people together and bringing the right people on the project. I kind of like that because I think I'm more people oriented, and I'm really looking forward to this discussion and making sure that we can tell people about what Akibulium is doing, what the project is doing, where we are pretty much right now in our development, and how we think Liberia and the people of Liberia can benefit from this technology, from the blockchain technology.
Excellent. Mr. Ernesto?
Yes, thank you so much, Archie. Yes, so Ernesto Herbert here, one of the co-founder of Akibulium blockchain. I am a Liberian, live and raised in Monrovia. My bachelor was done in Stella Marie's Polytechnic right in Liberia. and I happen to do my master's in George Washington in data science. So I'm a data scientist currently. And then I venture into the blockchain technology because whenever I research the technology, I realize that most of the problems that we have in our country, where I am from, can be solved by this technology. And that's the reason why I got involved with it. And now we're trying to make sure we can make it useful for the continent and also for Liberia. I will stop there.
Thank you, Mr. Herbert. Ma'am, I want to apologize to you because the convention is ladies and gentlemen. I'm coming to gentlemen and ladies, so I apologize for that, for bringing in last. But the last is always the best, so please.
Exactly. No apologies necessary. I'm moving with my divine feminine energy, so it's okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sharufa Rashid Walker. I serve as the Global Ecosystem and Cultural Strategy Officer for Ocubilium. I am a builder. I've been a builder for the last decade across multiple intersections, and my work really sits at culture, technology, and ownership, and helping to design systems that really empower people to participate more fully in the future. So I'm super honored to be a part of this conversation and to explore how this technology can support economic growth and opportunity across Liberia, Africa, and the global diaspora, which I'm representing. I'm based in New York. And so just to let you know, we're all here.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. And we're glad to have you all here. A lot of people, a lot of portfolio, man. I got to say my own too. I just keep myself, I am the co-host, and I didn't even say my portfolio. Well, by the way, I got a little portfolio. I'm an MBA, and I work in DOD, and I got to put it in there too now, I can't be the least on the platform. But yeah, it's good having you on, and I think we're going to have a great discussion here tonight. The blockchain technology is doing well and is moving fast. It's cutting through all the various platforms and industries, and with companies jumping on board. It's good to have you on board to talk about it and how we can envision the technology being deployed in Liberia and across Africa. So with that being said, Mr. Bean, let me go to you. Since you are the one bringing everybody together to make this happen, and in dealing with communication, talk to us, to the panel, and talk to our listening audience across our platform. What is Akibulan? What is that? Am I pronouncing it right way? Akibulan?
Yes, Akibulium. So
Akibulium.
Akibulium. Yes. So
what is it, and what does it have to do with blockchain technology?
Right. So the word Akibulium actually is connected to the project. Akibulium is connected to the continent, because the oldest name of Africa is Akubulen. So
that's what I thought.
That's the connection. Yeah, right.
I'm trying to make the connection. Okay. Now it makes sense to me.
Okay. So we are part of the continent, and our priority is the continent. We are a very diverse group of folks who actually feel like that we can make a difference in the condition that the continent is facing. And some of the ways that we can make that change is to actually develop systems that we can create a world where, we don't have to trust an individual. We don't have to trust people in positions of power, but we can trust that the system is going to do the right thing. And we're very diverse. We have folks from so many different areas, different countries. Like Sharufa is on our team. She's from New York. We have Dr. Nancy is on our team. She couldn't make it here today. She's based in Canada, but she's from Togo. So it's a very broad group. Akibulium is primarily focusing on how we can solve some of those issues, such as obviously transparency, making sure that government can operate in such a way that the people can actually trust the government, that the government is doing what's best for the people. Akibulium is building a system of accountability where we can hold leaders accountable, we can hold people in power accountable, and we know for sure they're doing the right thing. We don't have to rely on just trusting those people. We can say, okay, we have a system in place that the system doesn't really care who you are. It's a system that just works. It's based on mathematics. Like any programming language you think about is, you put these if and then statement in, and it just operates. So
Okay.
that's just the light, focus of what Akaboudium is doing.
Okay, great. And that's so you want to chime in?
Yes, I am. So, for me, I lived Liberia for a long time. I worked to MTN in Monrovia, and I wanted a supervisor in the tech department there. So I have a very good experience with the working, environment in Liberia. And, firsthand, I understand the constraints that we have in the country when it comes to some of the issues that we're facing, from the government level to the regular people, and whenever I see technology, I don't just see it as a fancy thing. I see it as something that to use to solve problem, meaningful problems. So what Akiboudium was started for this purpose, the purpose of solving critical problems in Africa. One of the major problems was corruption. Corruption was a major problem that we saw that can be solved easily with this technology. After we researched this technology, we realized that we're like, wow, this technology exists, and then we still have this problem, So with that, that's the reason why we got on board and we started to research better, and we decided that, look, let us start doing something about this. We can just be Liberians in the diaspora or Africans that always, complain about our system in Africa, but then we cannot do something about it. So this was a more of a doing something about a problem that exists, by getting on and starting the entity called Akiboudium to tackle corruption, to tackle resource management, and also transparency and ownership. When it comes to land deeds, you already know what happened in Liberia with that kind of situation. So all these things, blockchain can solve it, and now AI on top of it can do even more. So that's why we started Akiboudium, I would say.
Okay, thank you very much. Madam Sharufa, you want to share any thoughts on this?
Sure. I think one of the key things when we're talking about just the importance of Akiboudium and blockchain in general is that a lot of times when the public hears blockchain, they really are only thinking about cryptocurrency. They're not necessarily thinking about the infrastructure as Bien and Ernesto highlighted behind these currencies, because we understand that everyone wants to be able to position themselves financially in a comfortable way, but we also have to understand how we're thinking about systems that will live for multiple generations, 100 years from now. So one of the biggest things is that blockchain addresses that broader narrative, right? It's about infrastructure that can support digital identity, that can support ownership records, that can support trusted systems. And this is relevant across the board when we're thinking about the relevancy to governments, to businesses, to individuals. It strengthens the foundation of how we build. And that's really what this is all about, because as people of color, we want to be able to take our ownership back and build systems for us, by us, and with us in mind. So I add that.
Thank you very much. Now I'm going around the table to the other panelists. Mr. Wright, do you have any question for our guests or comment? Mr. Wright.
Yeah.
Any question, comments?
Yeah, sure. It's a question, and the organizations focus as explained by the three guests. One point I pick up there is solving corruption problem, and then I think Anesta talks about land deeds. What specifically did you do for land deeds? What is it you saw there, and what did you do?
A good question. You want me to chime in?
Yes, please, Anesta.
Okay. So the land deed, right? If you understand, just to go back a little bit about what a blockchain solving, a blockchain removes a central authority and it gives you to have a peer-to-peer relationship with the in the transaction, right? So right now we have a central authority called the archive. The archive is the one, or the land authority. These guys store the records, right, for us, all our land records, right? If you go and buy land in Liberia now, your record will be stored in that system. Now, that system, we have to trust it that is truthful, and it's going to do its job. It's not going to be corrupt in any way, and it's going to be something that the entire public can see as a source of truth. You understand, right? So, but then the problem is, if that system failed to meet its obligation, the entire system failed, right? So if you buy a land today, and if you put your land record in that system, that a land authority or archive, but they do not fulfill their purpose to make sure that document is secure and it's a source of truth, then that means that they won't be able to solve the problem of land in the country. And a lot of people now going and having problem with land where you have double sales, you have two documentation, you have situation where something is conflicting, land is overlapping. Somebody said they buy land today, another person said they bought it yesterday from the same person. It's just a total disaster. Only because the system where they have, that centralized system, cannot be trusted currently unless it's fixed. It needs a system where it can work on top that will be decentralized. It shouldn't be centralized to the extent where corruption can play. So how does the blockchain come in? The blockchain brings in about transparency, total decentralization, and remove all the errors of corruption in the process, or even tampering on the document. You cannot tamper with information you insert into a blockchain. So long you insert it into a blockchain, it can never be manipulated anymore. Just think about that for a minute. So if you take data and you put it into a blockchain system, you can't erase it. Nobody in the whole world can erase it, including the president and second erase it. So if you understand that concept, if I buy land now in Liberia and I register that land, so long as it register under my name, it can never be changed, even by the employees to the archive, even by the president of the Republic of Liberia himself, unless I sell it to another person. That's the only way it can be changed to that person. So you see how powerful that technology is, where your record itself, whenever it's inserted and when it's kept, you cannot change it anymore unless the owner transfer it. That is power. And that's the kind of power that we need to have so that we can solve problems of land dispute in the country. It will be over in a minute. In a minute, we won't have that kind of problem anymore. And then apply this to any other sector of our society. And you see how we can transform every other thing. That's the reason why we are here to discuss this.
Absolutely. And just adding to what just adding to what
an intention. Let me interrupt, please. Let me interrupt the question, please. Sure. So is it an intention, or is it something that you have already started putting in place at the archive, from what I'm hearing?
Oh, that's a good question. So, like, what have we done so far as relates to this, right? So last year,
yes, specifically with the land deal thing that you are talking.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah, let me come in with that. So last year around June, right? April, right? I think it's April or June. We went to Liberia and we launched this concept, this blockchain concept, right? We had a lot of different government entities coming to the event, including the national, the anti-corruption section came, the government entity. We have the election commission, we had land authority came, and we had other government agency came, right? Now, after that event happened, we had the opportunity to speak to the archive. So we spoke to the archive, and the archive thought that it was a brilliant idea. The archive sent us a letter, and they said that they immediately want to have a meeting with us. So we received the letter, and we went to the archive, and we met the assistant director and all the tech team in the archive and everybody else, the senior officials. And I presented to them the blockchain, how it can solve the problem. And they saw that, and they were like, wow, how can we proceed with this? Can you do like a proposal so we can see better how we can proceed with it? And pretty much that's what we did. We get a proposal to them afterwards. But again, after we're done doing that, we don't know what happened like the regular Liberian way. Everything just went like that. We called them, So what's the follow up on the proposal? You know, the other guy that we assigned to you, the man, he picking on your phone, that kind of stuff. It just went on for like months. So we just, and I'm not saying it to show a bad light on the entity per se. I'm just saying the reality of what we go through to kind of make change in our own society, right? I went over there and I actually went with a good intention to take this technology, and I talked to the people. The people were interested in the system. They love it. They said send a proposal. They even assigned an IT guy with us. The IT guy they assigned us, the guy is nowhere. We try to write the entity a bus, no response. So we thought maybe there was something else that went on. So we have up to now we haven't heard anything from them yet. And I'm being very blunt about it. I'm not trying to like sugarcoat it. They were stopped. But if they had allowed us to proceed at this time, we won't be speaking about corruption in the archive no more. It will be a history. This will have been transformed. And it's not even something that it will be in our own interest. It's in the interest of the Liberian people. That's the kind of thing we're trying to bring about. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to keep engaging with the different authorities and see how best we can proceed from this point on.
Can I just add something to that?
Sure. Any of you guys can jump in. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, those were great points, Ernesto. And, change is hard. And when we're thinking about the change that the continent needs, specifically Liberia, West Africa, East Africa, and beyond, we have to also acknowledge the legacy systems that are already in play and how it's consistent work that is going to take in order to get people on board with this technology, because this technology is very fast. I don't know exactly the time frame that it takes someone to move through the process at the ACA to be able to establish their deed and to get all of the documentation. But essentially, hypothetically, if it took 6 months to a year for you to get all of your paperwork, what blockchain does is disrupts that. And now we're talking about 6 minutes, right? So it's reducing the friction point. And when you're presenting this to a country that has leaned into these systems for centuries, right? This is a hard thing to fathom, to digest. And so the priority list is not necessarily there, because we also have to acknowledge there are real world problems that are existing today. There's food insecurity, there's housing insecurity, there's unemployment. Like, there are all of these things that when someone's thinking about, but you want me to invest in this technology now and take resources from our people when we have real world issues across healthcare and so forth on, that's a real question, right? And so what we try to do is approach this with grace and understanding that we need to meet people where they are, but we also want to be able to push them along lovingly to let them know, like, listen, if you don't act now, if you don't engage now, what will ultimately happen is other people will come in. They've already built the system for you, and then they're just going to sell it to you. You're no longer going to be capable to build it for yourself. And that's what we're proposing. That's what we want to see for the country, for the community, for our people, right? We want to be able to see our images of ourselves being at the forefront of the builders of the technology.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Sharif. I just wanted to add to this. So,
okay,
a few weeks ago, I just met with a young man. He's from Liberia, and he's about 20 years old, so 19 or 20 years old. He's studying geology in college. So he came over. He does some. He's a part of Akibulium. He's part of the community, and he's building on top of Akibulium. So he and I had a wonderful conversation. So I had a chance to talk to him. So I was like, "What are you really working on?" He said, "Man, I'm trying to solve the land issue in Liberia." 20 years old. See, I'm trying to solve the land issue in Liberia. So I said, "Okay, show me what do you have. What have you worked on so far?" And this young man opened up his computer and showed me the entire application he has built to solve the land issue in Liberia. And as someone who's and he's like he said, what I want something from you. I said, what can I do for you? He said, I just want you to check my math to make sure it's correct. Very, very ambitious young man. And his system it works. So this is how it works. You know, every single area on the planet Earth has a coordinate. Like in civil engineering, you got a coordinate right here, and you got a coordinate right here. And the coordinate 5 feet away, it is different from the coordinate over here. So what he's doing is, okay, how do we pick up the coordinates at the boundaries of these land and put them in the system, and to to prevent like overlapping of land? We don't need cornerstone and all of those marks. I mean, we could put it, we could still put it in, just just for the sake of it, if we have like a few surveyor or so. But that would prevent so many issues. Simple issue. And the good thing about it is anybody from anywhere can check a land information just by putting in the coordinate. And you can see it on the map. He show everything to me. It zooms in Liberia. You see the land, you see the plot based on the coordinate. And he has the title, everything is there. Who owns the land, when the person owned the land, when was the deed transferred to that person, and it's right there. And the transfer of that deed to another person can be done like something as easy as the owner who has the key to the land can initiate that transaction, and it goes to the next owner. And then that person, time stamped, becomes the new owner of that land. And the government can, just simplifying that process, people can start to pay even property tax, like land ownership tax. See, one of the issue that the challenge Liberia is facing is the government wants to do things in the country, but we have to understand that there's various limited areas the government generates money in Liberia. If we create these systems and we get compliance and we get people participating within the system, and this system becomes the governmental layer of the government, I mean, the country gets a lot of money. People pay taxes. Everybody pay taxes. I want to pay taxes too. I mean, I live in the US, but I would love to pay taxes in Liberia, provided if we have that system that is accountable, that I can see where the money is going to be used at, and it can generate that confidence that our people need, not just in Liberia, but all over the world. We want to build that country together, but it has to be done in a systematic, well organized process. So,
okay,
definitely.
Thank you, fellas. I want to go now, Sharufa. I have a question for you because you said something that struck me. So, but I'm going to come back. Let me go to Veteran Smith. I know he's been waiting patiently. He's probably getting mad with me right now. What I've been going to him. So, Veteran Smith, any question or comment?
My first, I'm so delighted that you all came together to work on a project and blockchain. So how did you all come together? Who brought the concept together, and how you all were selected? I just want to know before I start asking my question.
So pretty much I started the entire thing. Like I said, because of my history, I lived in Liberia, I grew up in Liberia. I live in Africa. I went to Ghana, I went to school in Ghana too. So I have so much experience when it comes to what we face in the continent. So when I came to the US and I kind of researched and I saw people already using this technology here to do great things in this country and other countries around the world. And I was like, what, then why are we sitting here and not doing the same thing, contributing back to our country? They were our continent, right? So that struck me, and that's how it started. And then when I put the idea out in the public, it become a Pan-African vision, because this is not affecting Liberia alone. It was the entire continent, an entire African diaspora too. The same problem that is affecting us in Liberia is the same problem affecting the Black people in America and the Black people in Europe and Asia, right? We have the same problem. So we start to have a bigger community of diverse Africans joining this organization. Right now, we are like pretty much a global organization. We have a representative in different countries, right? Even though we register in Liberia as Liberia is a headquarter. So our registration is in Liberia and everything is based in Liberia. But that's how everything started, and that's how everybody else came on board.
And so far, you all have a unique team together. That's why I asked that question. So let me go to Sharufa Walker. And the reason I'm coming to you, I'm somebody passionate about culture, and you are the culture technological person, if I should say that. And Liberia has a unique situation. We have a culture, but most of our culture among the 15 counties and most of the icons of our culture live in the diaspora. How can you use this technology to really help bring our culture back, that it reflects that everybody appreciate the culture that we used to appreciate before? We had a culture center. Now you're using technology like blockchain. How can we more appreciate our culture through your technology?
Yeah, thank you, the veteran. That's a beautiful question. I think the biggest thing that I would say is through ownership and legacy. What blockchain allows us to do is to be able to be the authors of our story, gives us the autonomy, gives us the sovereignty. So we are able to write the narrative of our past and our future. And leveraging this technology allows us to cement it, meaning that the way that Ernesto described and Bien described before is as far as someone not being able to come in and erase it. So for unfortunately, you're witnessing now an erasure that's happening here in the US when it comes down to our culture as African people in the diaspora. And this is a protecting measure that we're able to lean into heavily to not allow that to happen. So, a real world example of that is a great author, right? A renowned author or a poet, that's coming from Liberia, coming from the continent, having, strong bodies of work that we're able to protect on chain. We are able to give that author's body of work an identification that is encrypted, and forever and ever it will live on chain and it will be secure, and so no one would be able to go in and manipulate and to augment or to appropriate, because that happens a lot with our culture, right? People appropriate it all the time. So that is a measure, and those are examples of how we're thinking about leveraging this technology for the culture as being archivists somewhat, as being the preservers, right? And the protectors of it, because we really look at blockchain as being an army to be able to protect it.
That's a good answer. Just a follow up. Uh,
Dr.
African
Smith,
American came to the shore of Liberia and it became president of our culture when slavery ended. How will you use the technology that both groups will appreciate the culture? African American will appreciate the roots, and we will appreciate our founders who came back. Can you do that?
Yeah,
Will you appreciate?
absolutely. I think one of the biggest things in thinking about how we reframe our narrative, right? Like we all know that our roots aren't just solely embedded in the history of slavery. There's so much greatness and so much divine positioning that we've experienced historically that a lot of people do not know our full brevity of our story, right? And that goes on both sides. You have a lot of Africans that live in the diaspora who don't know the extent of our story beyond slavery, and vice versa. You have a lot of people who are living on the continent that don't know the walk that Africans in the diaspora have had to do since that time. So this is an opportunity for education. This is an opportunity for us to be able to cross pollinate those stories, for us to sit down, at the table together, break bread, and really talk and share and preserve and protect, right? Because I think that I'm a believer of, the unification of all 54 countries, right? I think that they're all special and they're all important in so many ways. And so the faster we start to break down these barriers, the faster we'll get to our real power and our real utility and our real strength. that we're able to exhibit leveraging this technology.
Okay, so thank you, Madam Sharufa. I want to hold you there. Look, I want us to continue with the conversation, but I got to bring the listener in so that they can ask 1 or 2 questions. We're not going to take that much calls tonight because I am enjoying this conversation and there's a lot to be said. So allow me, but my producer just left the scene. Where is he? There you go. Alex. Alex, are you there? Alex.
I get him, Zora. I get you.
Okay, great. So let's go to the line
So
and
let's
get
go to the
at least
line
3
and
calls,
get at least 3 calls,
and then we'll come back to our guest here to continue the
guest here to
conversation.
continue the
So at this
conversation.
point, I'm going to mute everybody.
All right, so folks, let's hear you on the phone line 0776 105 105 881 143504 0776 105 105 881 143504, and you're going to join us here this evening. Let's go on the phone line and pick up the first caller. Hello.
Good evening, my friend and brother.
Good evening. Your name, where have you joined us from?
Yes, are you sure from Storyville?
Welcome to the show tonight. Let's hear you.
Oh, was a very great teaching, and we are monitoring. We are learning as well. But I want to ask a question, very short question.
Okay.
This was your main mentality. Where you carry a goat is where you go and eat. For what I embrace that technology. But do you think that such a technology can work in Africa now, especially Liberia? And so my brother who started a show where our agency got in contact with him, but alas, they couldn't call him. So how he said, because Adira, they couldn't call him back because he brought a very sound program and they still want to, corrupt. That why they couldn't call him back. So how he said, thank you for the program.
Thank you so much for following. 0776 105 105 881 143504. And let's hear this evening 0776 105 105 881 143504. We go on the line. Bring in this person. That's Berekatu. Hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
A pleasant good evening to all of our professors. Welcome in class, and thank you ever so much. Wow, what a great class this evening. So professional people we got in class this evening. To the extent that we, the students, we are really confused to choose the kind of subject that you want to take as your major. But how be it, we will gradually take some of those points. I have a question. And this question will be directed to 2 of our professors. One for the lady and one for my brother who was once upon a time here on the land issue trying to help the system. Do you still have an intent of coming back to Liberia to contribute, regardless about our so-called system that we believe in, the mindset that is carried on in a way that we cannot be compared to any other country in Africa or the world, meaning we're so used to this, our Liberia thing, very small thing. So that alone discourage people who came to sacrifice and contribute to the growth and development of our country. Do you still have passion and willing to come back to contribute? So my sister, with such a brilliant knowledge you got, as long as you are, congratulations. But do you also have ambition of coming in Africa, especially so places in Liberia, our country, through any of our professors? You can have a base point here wherein some of us can at least, if not ourselves particularly, but our children, friends and relatives can go through your institutions or through your learning processes and grab something from there as well that can make use of in our country. Again, thank you and welcome in class. And let me say this, I pray and hope that this should not be your just visit in this great university and go away from us, the students. You are highly, highly needed at all times into this great university. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Belkato, this evening for being part. 0776 105 105 881 143504. And let's hear, we'll take 3 more calls and then we'll go back to the panelists here. 0776 105 105 881 143504. Yeah, welcome back. You forget what's on again, right?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Let me do a due diligence to my professors. You know, even if you are a new student, you have to stand up and introduce yourself to the professors. Let's write a professor. They have introduced themselves, we know them better. So, my name is retired Captain Emmanuel S. Doe, otherwise known as Katu. You don't force, but you compare only to do us the right thing. Again, welcome in class. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. 0776 105 105 881 143504. And let's hear from you. 0776, we'll pick up this person. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. Your name, where have you joined from?
Yeah, I go by the name Shaka Bobby Baby Zulu. I call you from Zoeju Cromwell Music Empire Studios.
Welcome to the show tonight. Let's say it quickly.
Thank you. I must appreciate the panel for their deliberation. I think we need such a people in the society to come and transform the society, and we pray that they may be able to come, and make impact. But then, my question is the soundtrack that you played. I don't know who recorded the soundtrack for I Beg to D4. It's not bad. I don't know who the artist, but
no, that's we have a question for the guest.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later on. Shaka will talk about that later on. Yeah.
No, I want to make some suggestion to you.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Now we have guests here, so we can't keep them and discover the track. So later on, you can come back.
No, I'm not talking about my track. I'm talking about the song you recorded.
That is why I'm saying we have to pick up another callers, please. 0776 105 105 881 143504. We take 2 more calls and we go back to the panelists here this evening. 0776 105 105 881 143504. You will be live here on the program. I beg to differ. 0776 105 105 0776 105 105 881 143504. You will be live here this evening on the program. I beg to differ. Let's hear you. If we can get to that, we have to go back to the panelists here this evening. So if you put in your calls, we will not take you again. So let's just give you 1 minute to have you on. Let's see. Shaka, welcome back.
Hello?
Yeah.
Alex, I don't know what the topic really is. I just, because I try to play my bases, but you never give me the chance to. You understand me? There are a lot of things going on in the country that, but what I think is, if we are giving messages outside, should be in colloquial, because the language is kind of different. They are not understanding the lyrics of the song. But then there are a lot of things.
Shaka, so that is why I'm saying we talk about panelists on the show and they are making points. So that's your point. Go straight to what they are saying here this evening. Yeah.
It's okay. Send it back to the panelists, please.
Yeah, I'm all right.
It's okay. Send it back to the panelists, please.
All right. Yeah, you guys can take over now.
Thank you. Thank you. Want to thank the callers for being part of the show. Thank you. Want to thank let me go right back now. Part of the show. Let me go right back now to welcome our panelist, Mr. Habibu Bari, to the show. Habibu Bari, can you please introduce yourself to our guests tonight?
Archie, and let me say thanks to the panelists, my fellow panelists that have been holding fire with the show while I was away for from Monday. And, it's been somehow hectic. We have to balance work with, the especially where we have the Ramadan coming up. Or already we are into it already. So let me say kudos to the panelists. While I was away, I mean, because I joined in a little bit late, I monitored them and.
People, let me hold you there. I just want you to introduce yourself, and we'll come back to you. Because I want to get.
Are you getting me?
Yes, I'm getting you. Are you getting me?
Yeah, I'm getting you, but I don't know whether you're getting me.
I'm hearing you. Let me hold you there after your introduction. I'll come back to you. So, Mr. Bien, let's start with you. You're listening to the callers. What is your response to what you heard there?
Yeah, I think the first caller mentioned about if Liberia is ready and if Africa is ready. Um, we think Liberia is ready. The world is moving forward, and a few months ago, I think we heard that Ghana has adopted blockchain technology, and in addition, there's been other African countries that have adopted using blockchain technology, and the reason why they're doing this is because people need to make things easier, and there's been some limitation with the legacy system and how things worked. The way I see blockchain technology, and the reason why I think Liberians are ready is Liberians been ready for the internet. We are we are part of the internet. I go on TikTok sometimes. I see videos from Liberia, and we are involved in the internet, and blockchain technology is like it's the internet 2.0. So I think Liberia is ready. We have the internet in Liberia, which is the foundation of getting blockchain to even operate. Um, and we have some of the challenges we have with corruption, with transparency. Obviously, William's trying to solve like credit problems where people can get loans. Like people like women that sells in the market can get loans to kind of scale. We're trying to solve Bullion will help facilitate solving some of the health record system issues we have. Instead of somebody going to JFK and getting checked out and then going to another hospital and doing the same check, and spending extra money. We don't want that. We want a doctor from Phoebe Hospital to go into a system, a database, and be like, oh, okay, this test has been done. So let's continue from here. It saves the patient's money, and it saves time, and it saves the person's life. These are systems we need, and our people, any Liberian, I don't care, you can go in a remote village in Liberia. If you present that solution to them, they'll be ready to take that. So I think we believe the country is ready. The people are ready.
Excellent. And there's still a question was directed to you. Did you write that down?
Oh yeah, I did. I was first speak on the readiness. I also think Liberia is ready. When I went to Liberia, I saw that I left Liberia 11 years and I went back. So they were my after 11 years trip, and I realized a lot of things changed. People are using mobile money a lot more, and I thought I was like, wow, if these people can be using their mobile device to transact every transaction, people are paying digital payment now, right? That is beyond amazing. That is beyond amazing. So I realized that if they can do this, that means that they can actually now use any other digital system, right? That was just pretty much a go-to right there. Now, the caller asked, he said, how did I feel when I was turned down? I didn't feel terrible. It just confirmed things that people told me in the past. People told me before we came, they said, usually they're not going to accept what you're doing because it's going to remove corruption from the system, and people are getting corruption. Some people benefit from corruption. Some people actually they're getting rich off of corruption. So if you come, they're going to fight you, right? But I didn't really want to believe anybody. I wanted to try myself. I don't want to situation where I say, okay, because people say this, just let it go. No, I want to get in the system, approach the system, and try myself. So we approach the system got us to that point. It doesn't mean it's all over. You know, we just learn our lesson. We approach again. We approach again and we won't stop because we cannot stop. I was born in Liberia, right? I have to help by all means, regardless. If you say no, I'll come tomorrow. If you say no again, I'll come the next day. And we'll keep knocking at the door until we can solve the problem. Because we all can be in government, but we can be in the private sector and still solve and still fix the country in other ways. So we'll not stop, we'll not be discouraged. We'll keep knocking and we'll keep trying to help any way we can. So I'll be back in Liberia soon. The University of Liberia called me and they wanted me to be to teach data science, you know, at the university. So they called me up and I told them I couldn't do it now because I was engaged in the US with other things I'm doing here. But later on, I will come to Liberia and contribute to the universities in other areas in the country. That tells you that we have connection, deep root in the country. Will come and finish what we started.
Thank you, Mr. Rufa. A question was directed to you. Do you remember that? Or you?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. I made a little bit of a note. Just to kind of piggyback off of Bien and Ernesto about the readiness of the continent. Right. When you think about like the ultimate use case for mass adoption of this technology, Africa is at the epicenter of all of it. Because when we're talking about purely just the numbers all lie within the continent in terms of just the volume of people. You know, everyone knows that the numbers of people who are declining in the West and also in the East, and Africa's population is exploding because we have the youngest population in the world. So when we're thinking about leapfrogging over all of these other incremental steps that historical systems like to lean into, we have the opportunity now to really erase those and create a new system that allows us to move a lot faster, a lot faster, excuse me. So, and when we're thinking about the opportunities across multiple like sectors, finance, real estate, supply chains, the creative industry, music, television, film, all of these places, there is a use case for blockchain technology to be inserted. And the continent is definitely ready to be able to participate in that. The second question that was kind of directed at me had to do with, am I coming back or am I coming at all? Yes, I am coming. I have not been to Liberia as of yet. Bien and Ernesto know that, you know, it's definitely on the calendar for this year. It's a must. But I can just share with you all that my first entry point into the continent was actually in Senegal. So it was in West Africa. And aside from being a part of this core team with Ocubilium, I am also a builder. So I am building my own company within this technology. And that is something that I'm working on in Senegal. The company is called Welcome Home, and we really focus on fractional ownership. When we were talking about the land deeds and how we're addressing those things earlier, this is a part of the use case that I'm working on in Senegal. So I've been to the continent multiple times, and I plan to be in Liberia soon. And I plan to be able to, of course, share this knowledge, because another part of this technology is that we want to remind everyone that it's decentralized and it's permissionless, meaning that you don't have to ask anybody to get the information. You can just come on and learn and figure it out. And I would take myself as a great example of that, because previously I would always say, like, I'm a non-technical person, but I realized, no, I am technical, right? Like, I am just a new version of what a builder looks like. My background isn't engineering or anything like that. You know, I graduated Howard University. I'll put my shout out in there real quick. But, you know, my background is sociology, anthropology. And I've done a plethora of things in multiple industries, but I started this journey within this technology, and I've been able to upskill myself. I've been able to learn about it and adapt and understand and think about new applications that can be applied for it. So all of that to say, I think that, you know, it's It's something that is available for all. Archibilium definitely has plans to be able to continue our education platform. You can come on board right now to the platform and start learning today. You don't have to wait at all. And you can contact us and let us know, like, hey, I want to build. We have a builders hub. Hey, I want to figure out how can I solve problems, just like the young man that came to be in earlier, and he just started to build. That's the great thing about this technology, is that you don't have to ask anyone about how to use it. Can I use it? It's available. It's open source, and it's for us right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm just gonna extend from the question about, what keeps us going. I think is, for me personally, we as a team right now, we're not in this for money. Obviously, I'm not in this for money, and I've talked to a lot of the team member. They're really not in this for no get rich quick kind of a thing yet. We're trying to solve problems. We're problem solvers. We're people who live in a world where there's so much problems, and we want to be a part of that solution. And every one of us that are on the team, we're doing quite well. We don't need handouts or anything. We're not begging for anything. All we're asking is to be given the opportunity to present our people with a solution-based technology that can solve the most important problems in the African continent: corruption, transparency, uh, uh, fake documents. I was just reading a few days ago that part of the reason why a lot of the a lot of the payment application systems in the West don't accept payment from Africa is because 70% of the transaction is fraud. We want to be able to solve that. We want Liberians to be in Liberia and order something from anywhere and be able to get it. Those are the systems we're trying to build. We want people to be able to leave Liberia and come to the US, and even if they migrate to the US or go any parts of the world, they have a credit score system that they can get loans the next day because they already have that credit base. And all of that is system. Europeans come to the US, and American go to Europe, they already have a credit score system. They can go to the bank and say, "Oh, I just came a few weeks ago. I'm trying to get a loan. I want to start a business. Can I?" There's a credit score system. There's a trust-based system that even though we don't know you, you're brand new to town, but we trust you because you have a record that we can see. We can all see it. We have to get into system building. I don't have to trust John. I don't have to trust Paul, but I can trust mathematics. And these systems are math-based proof systems. They don't like you. They don't hate you. They're just there.
Yep. Thank you, Ben. That was a good one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. At this point, so we do have about 35 minutes to go. And I'd like to turn it over now to the veteran Smith to take us through the second segment of the show while I sit back and watch.
I wanted to come in with my few questions.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, let the veteran Smith come, and then he will handle that. Abibu. I'm sure he's aware of that. Thank you.
Okay, so I would like to ask this question, then I go to Barry. With this technology, blockchain, could you help us understand will it be competing with AI? Because we have AI right now. The NBA is thinking about using AI for all the broadcasts of the NBA game with AI, the different languages. So where is blockchain into the competition with AI? And if so, and also the financial benefit that one can get. Anyone can come on.
If you want to chime in, or you want me to?
Oh, okay. I'll take the first part. Let's tag team this. So I think one of the biggest things you have to look at with any new emerging technology is that it's not whether AI is competing with blockchain. They're all working harmoniously together. because also understand that we're still very early in the application and understanding the full range of what these technologies can do. So now in AI, you're seeing all the fun stuff, you're seeing the videos, you're seeing the augmentations, you're seeing all of the cool things that are really kind of like enticing people to get in on it. But then you're also hearing about, you know, the real world implications in terms of just like the biases with AI and it looking and profiling people based off of their bio data, their face, their race, their sex, all of these things, right? So AI is a great example of how it's still developing, even though it's not new, you know, and the OGs will tell you, oh, it's been around for a while, the same as blockchain has been around for a while, but we're just watching it evolve. So I think I would say the biggest thing for us as a community in watching these things evolve is to educate ourselves about how to use it and make wise choices on how you engage with it. Because sometimes we're quick to jump on the next hot thing or the next cool thing, and we're giving up a lot of our information blindly. Whereas further down the road, they'll say, oh, remember when you signed up for the thing because it was the AI video and it was really cool? And you'll say yes. And then it was like, yeah, you actually gave us permission to take this from you. And so you no longer own it. And so that's something that we're really focused on in maintaining our ownership, maintaining our sovereignty, because that is one of the key things that's going to be essential when we're thinking about the next 25 years, the next 50 years. Do you own your DNA? Do you own your name? Simple things that we would just like blindly not think about. But trust me, there are companies and organizations thinking about how to monetize those things. So all of that to say, to answer your question, it's not I believe it is not a competitiveness between AI and blockchain. It's how are you looking at both entities as units that work together, that complement each other, but also making sure that you're informing yourself and educating yourself about your relationship with them. And I'll let
if I may add to that too. Right. So I want to put it one in colloquial so I can sound a little bit, you know. The men that created AI, they call the man Sam Altman. As soon as he created AI, the first thing he did, he created one blockchain. So just see where he's going now. He created AI, then he created blockchain. He called it world chain. So for what thing? Then he went to Kenya. He started collecting people identity. He said, you put your fingerprint here. You give me your fingerprint in Kenya, in other country in Africa. He said, give me your fingerprint. So our people in Africa, they don't know what's going on. We still living in the old days where the people going way in the future, right? So what they meant collecting people information, what they meant create blockchain for when you create AI? Because the future is going to run on AI and blockchain. These two things. Every information when it comes to finance, right, will run on the blockchain. And AI will be the automation, the robots that will be doing things automated. In the future, that means that most of jobs will be taken away by the AI. That means that they will start paying us something called universal basic income. So that what he's trying to do, so he can pay us where they have pay later on, which will be more controlling now, right? Because it's somebody paying you, the person will dictate to you what to do, how you want to live your life, what you want to eat, and all I want. So how can we prepare ourselves for the future that's coming? That he play with how we supposed to think now. But our people are not thinking that way. They still thinking say letting a fire and paper thing will stay on, like back in the 70s or the 80s. That time passed. The world moving fast now. So to put it in context, AI and blockchain are the future together. So if you get a child and a small nana, you want to learn anything, let them learn AI, let them learn blockchain. At least as a basic form of education, it should be something that's part of the curriculum, even in elementary or even in high school, right? That's where we start thinking now. Other countries like Ghana and always thinking the same in that direction. South Africa, Nigeria, they finished signing crypto blockchain regulation. It already signed. Liberia get nothing yet. Liberia get no regulation for cryptocurrency or blockchain. What are we waiting for? Who waiting for to tell us to start these things? right? To even start the education of it in a university, in a high school. Who are waiting for, right? We already have people within our system that have learned these things and they have already built it. Look what we have done. We are the first Pan-African blockchain in the entire world. The first black Pan-African blockchain in the entire world. That means we're competing with other people. And we are from the continent, right? So we have to trust our own people sometimes. Give them a chance. Let's see what they can do. Because if you don't trust your own people, I mean, you don't believe in yourself. If you can't believe in the partner looking at you, then how can you? So my own power out about putting in Kologa so the regular people can understand it too. From that angle.
Which was very good. Mr. Bien, can you talk about the money and financial, although you say you don't want to deal with money, but the financial benefit. So when someone listening to you say, let me rush to blockchain because it will provide financial opportunity for me.
Right.
What will you say to that person?
Absolutely. So one of the things I always share with the team and most of the Akabulian, we have ambassadors. We have folks that we have a group of folks that are in different parts of the world, South America, the US, in Africa, and other places that provide education of what we are building of the products. Now, one of the things I always tell the team is, look, you don't go towards solving a problem thinking about money. Money is always the result of solving problems. Once you solve problems, money comes. So our priority as Akabulium team, we focus on how do we solve the problems that our people are facing, and how do we solve it efficiently. And the money part is just the one that comes after. Now, one of the things I know we haven't got into like some of the products that Akabulium is building. We have a few things out there, guys. We got the blockchain, which is the platform that all these systems can be built on, that guarantee trust, reliability, safe record keeping systems, hot credit systems, and things can be built on top of that. But we also have the exchange. We have an exchange called Jollof Swipe. Look, this is the first time in the history of Liberia that we will be able to have access to our marketplace. One of the biggest problems that I can't even comprehend, even up to now, is how do we as a people in our country, we don't have access to investment? How is that possible? If you're in Liberia right now, probably the only investment option you might have is, my uncle will always say, go build your house. I mean, which is good, buy land. Those are good investments. But how do you invest in the marketplace with assets, like investing in Tesla or investing in Amazon or Facebook? We cannot invest in those companies in Liberia because they can't give that access to us. We've been locked into poverty, our people. We can't save wealth. You can't even pass wealth down to your generation. We've been locked in. Akabulian is trying to create a path to create more opportunities for the next generation. For a young boy in Liberia can say, you know what? I'm going to invest in this project on Akabulian Exchange. It's an exchange. It's a marketplace. You invest in things, and 2-3 years later, your money is better. We live in Liberia. Our currency is down every year. You can't save money in a place where the currency is depreciating. If you save 100,000 Liberian dollar in 2 years, that money has a purchasing power of probably 70,000. I mean, it's still 1,000, but the question is, how much can that 1,000 buy? The money depreciates every year. We need investment opportunities for our people. And this is where Akabudian have an exchange to provide those opportunities. We have a wallet or Envote wallet where you actually own your asset by yourself. It's not owned by the bank. Well, if bankers are out there listening, don't come get me. But we're trying to provide liberation and freedom for our people. The bank will keep your money in there, but you don't even get no we don't get no return. The depreciation of the currency is going down faster than the percentage of return that the bank can give you. So you keep your money in the bank, you're screwed. You know, when I was a kid in Liberia before I came to the States, $1 US was about 25 Liberian dollar. 25 Liberian dollar. That was the ratio. Right now it's almost 180. If you were saving, if your grandfather was saving money for you 20 something years ago, well, that money you can just buy a soft drink with that money right now. We're trying to change that. And these are the systems we are building to be able to solve those issues. Those are massive issues. The poverty is not something that's just there. These are systems that needs to be destroyed, and real brand new system comes in to replace those systems that would give the people freedom and access and be able to maintain their wealth. That's the concept of Bitcoin. You guys have heard about Bitcoin. Everybody's talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin now is almost, I think, $65,000 for one coin. The reason why is because the whole world, not just Liberia, even in the US, the currency is a piece of trash. The reason why the value goes down every year. I get groceries today, $100. I used to go to the store with $100 20 years ago, and I would get bags of stuff. Now I take $100 to the grocery store in the US dollar, in the US, I can only get me a bag. One bag of groceries. I mean, it's still the same $100, but why am I getting one bag when I used to get like 3 bags? These are systemic issues that people everywhere are trying to solve these problems. Somebody solved the issue of Bitcoin. Said, look, I want to be able to hold my money and pass it down to my grandkids, and my grandkids can pass it down to their kids without the money depreciating. This is real stuff, people. Liberia has to start thinking like that. The government has to start thinking about ways to even have a Bitcoin treasury investment. Put money in Bitcoin. Our currency is not good. The US dollar is not even good either. It's going down. The formation of BRICS, they're coming together. They're going to debase the US dollar in a few years. The stuff that's going on in Venezuela is all about trying to keep the dollar up when the world is trying to bring it down. And the dollar has been used against us. We get sanctioned. They freeze our money. We got to come up with a system. We have to think. Thinking is free. Our people need to think about ways to solve these problems. If you got a kid going to school right now, put them into what the world is calling for: the sciences, the mathematics, the engineering, the technology. We got to do something, people. We have to. And we will.
Thank you for that inspiring message. I know the people heard it, and so we'll jump to the company right away and start investing. And so that's a good way of. So Barry, you heard what we've been talking about, and so you have questions for our guests.
Right, right. So once again, I want to say thank you to our guest, and they discuss this blockchain to the best of their ability. And I think it's important that he said for us to start thinking beyond, because in Liberia, most of us are still, not moving fast with the way the world is moving. So that is a one step back. We need to ensure that we move forward. But my question to the guests, probably, while they were speaking, maybe they answered before I arrived. But I did not hear them counting the countries wherein we have blockchain currently, running. Like the amount of countries wherein we have blockchain running. If we have them, what are some of the benefits that these countries are receiving currently? And then I'll come in with my last question. Any of them can answer. The question is, what sets, maybe you can just name out 2, 3, 4, what sets blockchain different from the other technology? Hope my questions are clear.
I think, you asking, I want to target the last question first, and then somebody may handle the first question. So the last question is, you asking about the technology itself, what the entire infrastructure, the design, the architecture.
What sets it apart from the others?
The other technology we currently use, right? All right, let me dive into it. You know, one of the things I did in the past, or I'll say I still do, is I'm a data engineer and also a data scientist. So I work with the current database systems, right? If you're familiar, you'll hear about SQL, Microsoft, Oracle databases, and all the kind of databases, right? And if you also did system engineering, you also hear about servers. You know, you got a server and you got a client, right? The architecture, right? Server client architecture. Now, Lone Star, if I want to send you a text message right now, you and I want to send a message on your phone. What happens is I send the message. The message go, let's say we're using MTN, right? You and I are using MTN. I want to send you hi message. That message I sent to you, but it doesn't go straight to you. Do you know where it goes? It goes to Lone Star office. It goes in that server they have there, right? Then they have some code, they have some instruction, I would say, they put on that message, right? And then that message is supposed to go there, they're supposed to store it, whatever they're supposed to do it, and then they'll take it and they send it to your phone. Then you receive it. So you see what happened? I sent you a message, but it went through another person first before it went to you. Now, if that was a payment, that means that it will go through Lone Star mobile money payment. Then Lone Star will send it to you later on. But guess what Lone Star will do? Lone Star will take the fee first and send to you. So the question that you asked said, wait, why can't I just send the money to the man directly? Why should somebody take the fee for me first before I send it to the man? When you start thinking that now, then you start questioning the whole world we're living in. Why am I sending money to Lone Star? Why can't I send it to you directly? Right? So that concept is Lone Star have a traditional system that we currently live in is called server to client architecture, where there is always a server that is in some building or office, and there's always clients. Clients are people like the phone is a client. You ask a server for something like Facebook server, we ask it, and it shows us all the different posts every day. And then we'll post something, that post going to Facebook server. Then Facebook will show all your friends too. But in between me and you, Facebook there, in between me and you, MTN there. Now that system is called server to client system. Blockchain system is different. Blockchain use a peer-to-peer system. Blockchain say, we not want to have this guy called Lone Star in between. Why can't you just send it to the man directly? Right? So blockchain remove that middle person that was there collecting that fees, that was there transferring the data to you back, right? And say that they build a new system that can actually communicate directly. So the new system, they call it peer-to-peer system. You understand, right? Now, if you remove a middleman from a process, a person who always collect the fees, right? You have actually removed 75% of the corruption from the whole entire process. Because now, if I saw pay a school fee, and I get ready to go pay the school fee, they get over call whenever you reach to the place, but I can pay the school fee directly, then it removes that process, right? If a tax collector come and collect tax from me already, but then the government create a system where I can pay you more money, guess what happened? That tax collector, that money is to be seen before, there no more again, right? It goes straight to the government, right? So this is the kind of system it's creating. It's creating a direct interaction. It's removing anybody in between that is causing any problem. So that's why you always hear that you say it's a peer-to-peer system versus a server-to-client system. That's the fundamental differences of a blockchain system versus what we already know today. That's one. There's many. Secondly, a database, think about Excel or, people can run on anything like that, right? A database, thing like keep information. A database system, you can insert records into it, right? You can tap your information into it. You can delete it from there, right? And then you can erase it, you can modify, you can change the letter around. The difference between that and blockchain database is if you put anything inside blockchain, you can't erase it no more. You can't change it. You can't erase it. So you see the difference, right? Direct communication, you can't change information from there. Just think about what you can do with that particular technology. Think about it. The men are doing susu in your community. You can't cheat no more. You can't run away with money anymore, right? The minute you get your car to go drive, say I tell the driver. The tell the driver who collect the money. The person paying the money directly to you now. They're not paying through the driver anymore. So the driver can say, oh, you know, the money. You got to think about all the possibility of what you can do with such technology that removes that middle person that was actually collecting and causing the corruption in the process. And also remove that database that you can manipulate that database with a database that you can never change. That's the fundamental differences between blockchain technology and our current system that we currently use today. You know, just stop it there. I won't go too much deep, you know, just so you can get a little basic understanding.
Thank you. I think we can go to the first question, and then maybe afterwards, because you talk about the University of Liberia, and I'm a student of the University of Liberia, and I'm doing public administration and accounting. It'll be good that we venture into database management, system. But I'm also concerned because we have in GEDEH, the GEDEH University. Are you also taking into consideration maybe in the future to reach it out there as well? So maybe after they answer the first question, you can come in with that.
Do you want to answer that first question?
I can hop in for the first one because it had to do with what other countries within the continent are utilizing the technology today. There are a couple. There are about, I would say about 10 to 15 confidently. Of course, if we're thinking about West Africa, we have Nigeria, we have Ghana. On the east side, we have Kenya, we have Rwanda, we have Uganda, and then South Africa as well. And if you think about where everyone is kind of starting their thesis around blockchain has to do with infrastructure. So going back to that first question that Mr. Wright posed in terms of deeds, a lot of these countries have been thinking about this same issue because it's such a rampant issue on the continent. And so that's something that has been in development in multiple countries so far. In terms of successful deployment, you have to kind of think about like, what are your measures of success? Sometimes, especially when you're talking about a new technology, there are multiple phases from like a proof of concept to actually getting live beta users to learning and being able to implement and pivot through those changes that you need in order to bring a strong, viable product to the market. Because as we mentioned on this call several times, with us, you really only got one shot. If you go on and it breaks, people are going to be looking at you like, nah, I don't think that's going to work. You lose confidence, you lose trust. And so one of the things that we like to do is build with care and intentionality, but then also making sure that we're doing it from a safe place. So those countries have been exploring that. Of course, Bien and Ernesto mentioned about, the peer-to-peer, and that's been happening as well, especially, a lot of people champion M-Pesa about their success and being able to showcase the utility of that. But one of the things that I definitely want to mention is that a lot of this technology, especially when we go forward and thinking about the future, it will not be present on the front public facing side. You won't know that you're using this technology per se, but it's going to be powered on the back end. So you will be doing your daily interactions. For example, you're going to the market, you're buying some items, for lunch. And there can be a transaction, a peer-to-peer transaction, but you don't know that it's being powered on chain because nothing has changed in what you're receiving. So I want to, the audience to be mindful of that because sometimes, we have this picture that, everything's going to look different. And I'm waiting for the shiny lights to say, this is blockchain. the transition will happen very seamlessly and very smooth for some things, and then other things they'll be loud, you know, and you'll be able to obviously know that this is something new and unique.
And Barry, let me just answer your last question too. Thank you, Sharifa. Whether, you know, how am I going to engage the universities, you know, in terms of like helping to, I think, with the education, right, and other things, right? So University of Liberia contacted me. They wanted me to help them teach data science. They sent a representative to the event that we launched, the ARCHIE event, and they were impressed about everything. They wanted us to do it. The only problem was I'm currently based in the US now, and so I couldn't just go back there to teach at the time. So I told them, say, I will arrange that in a way if they can do it remotely. If the course can happen remotely, that can happen, or we will find another way to handle it. So that's just one aspect. Secondly, when it comes to our blockchain technology, right, this is the first Pan-African blockchain we're establishing, meaning that this is going to be in every African country. Even though it's starting in Liberia, this is the Liberian, is the root, because, you know, Liberia is the Pan-African nation of the entire Africa. Let's be frank. Liberia is the first independent nation of Africa, so Liberia is the light of Africa, right? So we believe in our origin of things, you know, so that's why we started the project in there. But then what we have set up is a system of ambassadorship. So in order for us to have a presence in all the universities in Liberia, we need to have students there that will be ambassadors of this project. And that's one thing we want to like reach out to now. You see, being on a call, being is that our community a representative, right? So if you in the University of Zwedru, we also have other guys in the University of Maryland County, right? Where I'm from, right? So we have Maryland, we have, you mentioned Zwedru, Nema County, Monrovia, right? All the different counties, we need representatives there. We need ambassadors there that will have a little club, right? Then what will happen is we would transfer this knowledge to those guys, and then they will start to run the operation down there. We'll also come down and make sure that the information get spread across. We have a course, start teaching in the university, start to spread information, AI knowledge and blockchain knowledge, the two core things that we want to push in the universities, right? It can happen through students group that is pretty much ambassadors of ARCHIE, right? So maybe in this call, after the call, if you're interested, anybody else interested in being ambassadors, I would say reach out to maybe ARCHIE, you know, or he will send us the information. Then you can start to become the ambassador, and that's how it will spread across the entire country.
Right.
Thank you. So just for clarity, I'm in the University of Liberia.
Nice.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Mr. Wright, you can go with your question.
Which one is right now?
We got two rights there.
Okay, first let me give it back to the real right and the real right check.
Then my thinking is that I'm the right he's talking about and not the co-host. Does my argument hold?
Yes. The right, not the co-host. Or not the moderator, not the moderator.
Not the moderator, yeah, so the entire presentation is so positive, highly determined, excitement so high. And I just wanted to look on another side a little bit. Is there a disadvantage about this idea or this technology you are explaining? Because I know every coin has two sides.
Yes. So I can touch base on that. So one of the things that blockchain has been, not blockchain specifically, but blockchain in the name of cryptocurrency. There's been bad publicity about cryptocurrency, and there's been some group of people, groups that been engaged in some fraudulent activities. You know, I even heard about, in the case of Liberia, there was a crypto project a few years ago that we had a conversation about, Ernesto, that actually did some fraud work in the country, and took people money. Those are the kind of things that keep us up at night, because those are the problems those are the issues that, we don't like to be associated with. We really believe, and that's why I'm, being part of this group, this team for 3 years, and been building this project, is what keeps me going, even though I have my own schedule, my work life, is everyone on this team believe in restoring the confidence of our people. We've lost trust in each other, and it's true. And it's been a lot of evidence too. And we want to fix that. Everyone on this team is primarily focused on solving the problems for the people, and being very considerate in that process. Anything that has to do with fraud is not something that none of us want to be associated with. And the abomination of our people don't even think that we led them to some path that make people lose money, or people lose their investments, or somebody, we don't want to do none of that. We're not interested in that. Part of solving the problem in our country is to restore that trust. Trust is the foundation of doing anything. So there's been issue with cryptocurrencies. There's been people, not the technology itself. There's been people. So it's kind of like this: the internet is the technology, but then there are criminals on the internet.
Exactly.
The people that called you. So it is not the internet that is corrupt. It is the corrupt people on the internet. You understand?
Okay.
And that's what regulations will solve.
So no, let me follow up a little bit, please. So if you already know, fine. If you already don't know, then I can share with you that there is a very serious problem with the availability of data in Liberia. I'm with the land governance. We're doing the land sector, the reform of the land. I'm part of that process. And it is a very serious thing, a very serious information I'm sharing. We have a very serious problem. You can check that out. Even as I speak, there is this claim portal that land material set up for the Liberian Land Authority to track the work of the land formalization. That process is heavily challenged. So I'm bringing this information to say, with all your exuberance, I want to add to what you already have as your excitement, that Liberia needs what you are saying. Liberia needs this idea, and it can be no other time better than right now. Thank you, Freddie.
So let me ask my question that I've been guarding throughout this program here for Madam Sherufa, because she made a startling revelation when she was speaking first, and I wanted to ask, but then I brought in other panelists. So, Madam Sherufa, when you were first talking, you said one of the positives of having the blockchain technology. I'm sitting right now, for example, in one of the boroughs in Monrovia, Newtown, Painesville, you name it, and I'm having a land issue. All right, and I'm thinking, how do I go to the archive and have this thing resolved? And I'm thinking, I'm burdened by the fact that this thing is going to drag on forever. But then I tune in to a beg to differ, and I hear Madam Sherufa saying, if you adopt the blockchain technology, we can solve this thing in 6 minutes. What do you mean by that? Because I'm so excited right now.
You should be. That's the power of it. So when you're thinking about the network that exists within the blockchain it has to do with minors, and I'm not going to get like too deep in the woods with the technology, but just
Okay.
understand that there are computers, people who are literally validating your transactions every second, every millisecond, right? And
Mhm.
so that is how you're able to get a confirmation that fast. So, using that example, when it comes down to you wrecking your brain, somebody is trying to, snatch your land up and you know that it's yours, right?
Mhm.
And you have this open ledger, right? So, if you can imagine a Google Docs form, right? That you don't have to ask someone for access to be able to view. You can view this form at any given time, and your transaction that you had with the seller, right? Or if you were the buyer, however you went, right? It's there on this ledger, and it's able to document the who, the what, the why, the how. All of those details, as well as the coordinates, as well as the value, how much you paid, all of the details that involve the actual transaction, it is there on that ledger. And that ledger is ultimately the blockchain. And you have these computers, right?
Mhm.
Pinging continuously all around the world, all around the
Mhm.
world. They're pinging your transactions. So that way, when you do something, it pings this global system and it comes right back to you. And so that is the speed and the efficiency behind it.
Thank
So
you so much. Yeah, go ahead.
no, go ahead. You got
No, no, no. No,
it.
go ahead. Let me have you finish.
As long as you got it, that's the most important
Right.
thing.
Yes.
Listen,
Yes.
we
Absolutely.
want to be
Because
clear and concise.
I'm thinking, how do I get this done in 6 minutes? But I hear
Yeah,
you talking about all the computers pinging one another
that's
to get
right.
all the information in real time.
Yep.
And
Yes.
that's how we get this done
So if you
in
think
six
about it,
minutes.
typically
Uh-huh.
what happens, you have a paper ledger, right? You got to go down to the city hall. Somebody got to look at your name. You got the notary. Who is it? Okay, let me write them. What's your family name? Like you're doing the whole thing, right? That is a paper ledger process that document has now got to be placed on somebody else's desk. Now, this other person, what if they don't like you? What if they're out for holiday? What if they're
Right.
sick? And this is their responsibility to be able to move your documents along in the system. Insert blockchain. No longer do you have to wait on that person, that entity, right?
Mhm.
Because you've done this transaction virtually, right? Where you've removed these people out of the equation. And now it's just you and the seller, you and the buyer. And you're doing this at lightning speed. It does not take that long to be able to get a verified record of your transaction, because that's ultimately what you need. Once you
Right.
get your verified record, it goes into your wallet. Bien talked about the AM wallet before, where you can safely house all of your assets, and then it's yours. It's yours. It's that simple.
Well, I'll tell you what, I am sold, and I'm reading the comments. Well, by the way, Ernesto, you got one of your buddy here, your childhood buddy, Emmanuel Ta. He say, long time childhood friend, brother, long time haven't seen you. 02. What does that mean? You probably know what I mean. He says
02.
02.
O2, that's the
02.
name
There
they
you
call
go.
me.
02.
Ayani. Ayani.
02. There you go. So you know who it is. 02. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Look, man, it was great having you guys on the platform. I think a lot was shared today. And please don't make this your last time over here. Ernesto, you got my information. Let's stay in contact. At this point, I will ask you to give us your parting comments or anything you want to share before you leave. We'll have you do so now.
Let me start
Bien?
first.
Okay.
Okay, Ernesto, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to say thank you, Archie, for this opportunity that you gave us. And we will, we'd love to come back anytime you call us again, because what we're doing now, especially for Liberia, is keep educating the public about this technology. And we're also looking forward to the government and the central bank, especially, and the legislature, because, like the question that being answered, without
Actually,
good
quickly before you wrap it up,
Oh, okay, yeah. If you want to
Say
put
again?
something in before they go, yeah, why not, Mr. Wright? Mr. Wright, you there? All right, let's go ahead. Maybe he'll come back on.
So what I was saying was, you know, if you have regulation in place, what it does is that it kind of remove, you know, bad actors from the system. So right now, Liberia is kind of vulnerable because now what you have happening is that you have people doing cryptocurrency. People will be doing cryptocurrency on the black market in Liberia currently. It's already happening. You know, people are actually doing exchanges in Liberia currently, and they're doing cryptocurrency under the table. It's because the government having put in a regulation that people can come out of the dark and come in the light and register and get licensed to operate. We don't have that yet. So when you don't have those kind of clarity in the system, you create a system where people can come and do fraud. And we don't want to be affiliated with fraud. That's the reason why we kind of like engage with the government directly. We made it understand that we want to get this thing done for the sake of the benefit of the people. So I hope that if any lawmaker is listening, we pray that, you know, we can work along with them so they can pretty much create a regulation for cryptocurrency in Liberia, blockchain technology, so that we can have that. And then that will help our country to speed up in the future. That's where I want to start.
Okay. Mr. Wright, you say you want to squeeze a question in?
So I just wanted the guests to quickly share before they wrap up. Is there any collective success story that you can share?
Well, I would just say I think that an obvious success story is us. You know, we're here, you know, unified as a home front, working to be able to become the number one chain for the continent. And the backstory in terms of how the three of us have met is that we all have been builders individually. And I think that that's the beautiful thing because it highlights the importance of the community within, you know, this space. And so I think individually we all share great success stories with the projects that we've been pouring into, and collectively we showcase a unified home front of this is what's possible when we work together. And we want to be able to model more of this unified home front for the continent because we believe that, you know, we go further faster when we're together.
Another success story in the sector is for example, countries like Rwanda, you know, they use the blockchain for their land situation. And there are many other countries using it to do similar kind of thing. I think even Sierra Leone, I think they use it for the last election. In the process, imagine using this for election. There will be no cheating in the process, right? And countries are not tapping into it. The only thing is that, yeah, nobody can cheat, you know. And then the US, you can see what happened. Even Donald Trump, when he became president, the first thing he did was launch his own coin on the blockchain. And the US government now have adapted blockchain and they have put a regulation. So even SWIFT, you know, SWIFT, where you send money through SWIFT, the international stuff, SWIFT are now transitioned to a blockchain because they already know that is the future, right? So that means that Liberia eventually will have to use blockchain regardless, because if SWIFT them and all the international organizations are using it, that means the central bank will have to use it eventually, right? So it's going to come regardless, right? So these are all success stories and it's happening globally. It's just that we don't know in Liberia yet.
Sorry, before you come in, I didn't understand your question. I thought you were asking about personal success stories.
No, I said collective.
Okay, yeah, I misheard, but I'm glad Ernesto got you covered. Thank you.
So Ernesto, I wanted to come in before BN comes in because you talk about the central bank. So we do have one of our panelists on the show. He works with the central bank in the person of Councilor Zia. He is the communication director. So because of the conversation you must have had, whenever he comes on, I'm trying to make sure and get you on so that we can have both of you talk about this, because I think your goal, it seemed to me, from what I heard, is to get the central bank on board.
Yes.
And so we'll have Councilor Zion talk to you about that. So yeah, Mr. Ben?
Yes, I think the takeaway from all of this is, Akabulium and Akabulium is not trying to work against the government. We're trying to work along with the government to be able to facilitate some of the challenges we see in our systems and some of the limits we have in the execution of how things works right now. We really do believe that the blockchain system can actually really improve the current systems in Liberia and put a lot of money in the government's pocket, because I'm a firm believer that, and I'm pretty sure that my team is too, that some of the reason why there's such a very small the budget of Liberia is just very, very small. I mean, we're not making money because we're not manufacturing, we're not really creating, we're not doing a whole lot. There's not a whole lot of places that money is coming from in the country. And because our people are not busy and we're not keeping them working, the government can generate taxes. We want to be able to create a system where the government can generate money from taxes and use that money for the public good. It's very important, very important. If you're interested and you've been listening to this show, I encourage you to go to alkebulium.org, and it's Alkebulium, ALKEBULEUM.org, and then just click on the tab that says become an ambassador. You can be an ambassador. We would teach you. We will walk you through the educational process so that you can learn and be equipped to be able to help with this movement. This is going to succeed. It's going to work no matter what other people say. And Akibulium is not just obviously limited to Liberia. We want to put Liberia ahead of things, but we're also working with other countries. We're a Pan-African project. We have people from so many different countries on the continent, and so many African Americans also that are part of the project. We want to be able to reach out and solve the country's problem. But because they say charity begins at home, we from Liberia, I mean, especially some of the team members from Liberia, we want to be able to, get Liberia up there too. So, but it's going to take the effort from the government to be able to say, let's create a path for these people to be able to execute. So I'm very, very happy to be a part of this show. Sir, Mr. Archie, thank you so much for bringing us on. We love it. We will always be willing to participate in the future. And thank you so much for all the good work you're doing and the education you're providing to our people. It seems like so many people in so many different areas listening to this show. You guys are soldiers for information, and keep providing those information to our people because it does make a difference. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bien. And I have to say, every good thing must come to an end. The time in Liberia now is 12 a.m. And the guy in the studio, we got to let him go. And so at this point, I want to say that we have come to the end of the show. Thank you, Mr. Bien, for being here. Thank you, Mr. Ernesto. Thank you, Madam Sharufa, for being so gracious to come and be with us. We look forward to having you another time. And we wish you Godspeed and God's blessing as you continue your journey.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. All right, fellas. Thank you so much. I thought it was a wonderful show, but Ellis got to go early today. He's not sleeping in the studio, so he has just informed me that he needs to leave on time. So, Alex, wanted to thank you as usual, my brother, for doing such a wonderful job in there, running the show and producing. Is there anything you want to say before you leave us? I mean, when I'm hearing you, you're muted.
I'm saying, you getting me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
I said nothing much. I just want to say thanks to all of you guys for coming on every day, to educate our people.
Alrighty. Can you play that theme song
So
before
I'm
you
sorry
leave?
that
Can you play that theme song
I'm
before you
sorry that I'm
leave?
leaving you guys soon today, but it's because I will not be sleeping here today. That's why.
Okay, great. But can you play that theme song before you leave, my man?
Yeah.
And thanks to all of our, our listeners and commenters. I see you still on there. Your number still looks good. Thank you for being with us. We'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow again.
Shout! Sheku Koroma! Archie right! Play! Alex Diulu! Rock! Producer correct! All tonight, we beg to this day. I beg to differ, my people. If it not correct, we go talk. This thing here we ready to fight. No power, no fearing. Like truth, must talk. We not go. Call Mr. Tubo.
All right, Ellen, it's breaking. I don't know why. We're not hearing it. It's breaking in.
People are ready. Steady back up. We bring up. If you make small, pull yourself a speak. I shall be God. We go talk, guys. We go talk. If they hide the truth, we go bring God. Pull yourself a speak. 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. The problem time, no sleeping business. Your voice my tired too. So starting that doing things it internet guide it no keeper. I beg to differ, my people. If it's not correct, we got to come so. From 9 o'clock till 12 midnight, we sitting here, we ready to fight. No palaver, no fear inside. Truth must talk, we not go hide. One Mr. John bring that sense. Ready better, fit on upset. I must write it up and clear. Anthony WK really make the thing fair. Claudia sleep, strong woman, yeah. If you wrong, she go say Leader King, how this side, oh me county with the light. In my people, we are ready. Ambassador, steady. From bush to town, from market to yard. If the matter strong, we hit it hard. If the thing not straight, we go talk. If they hide up good, we go bring up. If you work small, pull yourself a stick. If they hide the truth, we go bring up. We go bring up, pull yourself a stick. Adita, pull it back. And let them put their mind free on the just begin to where we die. The private gun is so tribunal. My people.
All right, Alex.
Top FM 105, 3 we on the air. Leaders.
All right, so see you guys tomorrow.
All right, let's have a good one. Get them safe. People, are you there? I think people probably going on too. Fred Veteran Smith.
I'm here. I just want to thank the guest and thank even the panelists. It's good to be here, and I will always be available. And thanks to you, Archie, for coordinating the show. It was indeed great. And we hope to have a better show tomorrow where we'll be able to dive into other issues, because there are a lot of trending issues. You may be aware of the spokesperson of the Liberian National Police resigning from our position today. There are a lot of trending issues that we'll dive into hopefully tomorrow. Thank you so much once again.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Absolutely. And tomorrow, I think we're supposed to have Mama Musa. So I'm sure he too will be open to this kind of discussion for the trending issues. So yeah, absolutely.
And also the possibility I will confirm tonight. There's the African Union took a stand, and one of the author who put the proposal together, Dr. Kafani, who was on our show, might be a panelist tomorrow to break the news of what this communication or this bill put together by the African Union, what that would do for Africa. So hopefully he will let me know. The bill about reparation, about the slavery, the human capacity that I was taking from Africa through slavery. And he was one of the people who were helping among.
Is my auntie going to get her $500?
That's why we're having, just in case if Mama Musa promised she would be here with us, but just in case if something goes wrong, Kafana will be here.
Okay, that's good. I mean, we can take Kafani tomorrow because there are a lot of trending issues too we want to catch up with. Like he was saying, the police spokesperson resigned today, and I think a couple of news a couple of events that I read, in the media. I don't want to chime with those in tomorrow as well. But I mean, it will be a good conversation. As I can see, Kafani is always a very good,
and his son Kafani Jr. will be my special guest on tomorrow State Podium in the morning, 5:30. So don't sleep too much that you don't put the number.
No, I'll be listening to my way to work tomorrow, to the office. So yeah, I'll be part of the show tomorrow.
Why, you'll be working 5:30 in the morning?
No, but it's still wrong up to 7, right? I'll be out of there. I'll be dropping my daughter to school and then on my way to work. That's what I mean.
Oh, I got you.
I'll be on the show in the morning, but then I will be on my way while I'm listening to the show, dropping my daughter off to school. Yeah.
But make sure you put his number so you can't forget.
Yeah. We already have it
in the chat room.
Don't we have it already?
You have it for the last time. But I will resend it to you.
Please. Resend it.
I think I sent it to you before. I sent it to you last Thursday, but you were not there, so you couldn't come up.
Well, but hold on, let me see. If he's still in the chat room, then we don't need to put him there again. I mean, you'll get the call.
No, you didn't put him in the chat room because you were not there. You didn't put him in the chat room.
Oh yeah, he came on a back to differ. You were on a back to differ. Okay. Yeah,
no, he came on. He was supposed to come in the morning. I'm talking about in the morning.
Right.
I'm talking about his son.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came up back to different. We needed a link, so that's different. But he didn't come to the chat room in the morning show. You are not available on last Thursday, so he couldn't come. But he came in the evening.
Yeah.
You got it, Mr. Wright? Yeah.
Yeah, if you, I'll appreciate if you can resend the number.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I'm really appreciating here, Mr. Smith? I think the guest from ARCHIE follower, the radio follower. Our listening audience is very diverse. It's very diverse.
Oh yeah.
I'm following the comment section. It's very diverse, Yeah. Which is good. That's good. I really like that. Yeah.
But you know, one of the things we need to start doing, we're not doing it, it will help her, the recordings.
My man, I told you I'm catching up on it. I got all the viral videos, but I didn't even just hit send. It's easy to do, right? Like I told you, I can go in the background right now. As soon as you're in, I can go in the background and generate the most because the system will do it for me. It can take the viral video, it will generate the viral video. You know, and I just hit send, but for some reason I would do it. Keep reminding me, my man. Keep reminding me, and I'll get on top of that. I'll get on top of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Friday we have the Secretary General of the Liberian Bar Association. That should be an interesting show.
Very interesting show. It will be very interesting. Yes. We got a Prophet Key topic will be the number one. That would be very interesting.
And one of the things that he would love to do, because the Bar Association sort of educate us on legal issue. Yes. So this will be, it might be part of the panel whenever we have legal issue.
I will back it to be part of the panel. It will be $1 million plus. I swear to God, how did I do all? Yes. But that would be cool. Can you reach out to him and say, so he can give her his picture? So let's start doing it.
Okay.
It's a big one.
What happened? I'm trying because I don't know how it works, but if someone give you the number and say it's WhatsApp, and you try to get it on WhatsApp, it's not working. So maybe I will call him. Nobel and try to call him direct, because that's the only other option, except he put your number into WhatsApp. Then sometimes it works that way. Because I've been trying to call him today.
Why don't you send me the number? Let me try too.
Okay, I will do that. I will do that.
Well, having it will be a plus, man. It will be a big plus for us. Yeah.
But tonight, I really enjoy. I never expected, sometimes shows that you don't expect would be good. That's why it ended up being good. I mean, with all our things, I said, what the man talking about technology? But then when I got into it, the veteran question was coming, it was just flowing. I said, well, these are shows when you think you're not going to do good, that's the one you perform the best. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. For some reason, I just felt like you are going to bring the show alive in the second segment. It just hit me as a positive show into veteran space. Like, yeah. Because
before they left, my how you call it thing said the signal went away, the charging power went away. So by the time I got to bring my other phone, because the signal and it went dead. I mean, the charging power went dead. So I wanted to bring my other phone, and then it left. Yeah, so that was just, but it did what it's supposed to do. Yeah. Where I asked my question and all that part. But you see, those are some of the things that when you're on the show, people don't know. A lot of things happen, can go wrong.
A lot can go wrong.
Your phone, your charging device have to be charged.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
because I forgot to put my laptop on charge, the show almost went off.
Thank you. So all these things happen. So sometimes people ask me, why you have two phones? You have two phones, so when one gave way, the other one you can go. I always knew that I would be on the radio, so by having two phones will help me.
Yeah.
That I can coordinate. Somebody I need to reach, a guest I need to reach, I can use the other phone while the other one is on. And pretty soon, if I have tablet right now, what happens if I have laptop? So the laptop will be used as a studio. just like how you have a studio, and that whole setup will come later on where you will host. You will turn the show to me. I will host. I run. Then the people back over there don't have to run the show. And we can run it from here and do everything later on. So that time will come. It takes time.
But what do you feel? What do you think, Rado? So one of the panelists suggested to me, and that's how I'll ask all of the panelists.
Oh, before I forget, keep your thoughts. I spoke to Christopher Nippe.
Oh, okay.
And he willing to come on the show, but first we should, and we need to, I already have worked out what we're going to talk about. He almost like Benedict, we said, although they come from sports background, but they want to deal with politics.
Yeah, man, I've been going to politics a long time.
Yes, no. He into the diplomacy. He work at the embassy, wow. So he have So I told him we'll focus on security, and anything can come. The challenges, security challenges in the past, right now, and then we can level that subject so you can bring a lot of things under security. The present issue that are going on, the past issue, for us having our for all the vote, diaspora vote. He wrote a paper on that. So all those things can be brought, all that security, issue can be brought on in our questioning.
And it would be good to have the secretary of the Bar Association on, because they will be
also there. Yeah, that would be good. You're right. But man, I broke Guinea Bowl record today. I haven't eaten.
But when you started, we've been doing it.
For this morning, I was waiting. I said I was depending. I said my cousin is coming from work. She will bring me something. She never called me and never came today, and I can't leave. I mean, I can eat some junk food, but that's not what I was expecting. I wanted to eat a heavy lunch or something. So I will call her after the show. I will call her and tell her disappointed.
No, tell her thank you. Tell her thank you. What she has done for you is for you to clear.
Because I would have made other provision if I knew she was not bringing. I could. So now I'm feeding the pain in the stomach. I need to eat.
Now, all the grounding going on. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, but I like that we did the show before my stomach started. So what your brother going to?
You mean off the show?
Your brother left us? Yeah, he left the show?
He left. Yeah, as soon as the guest left, he left.
Oh.
Yeah. No, because I said the guy was leaving.
So,
what's his name? Alex was leaving.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the what his name said? So the Claudia never came today?
I don't know. I sent her information today because I really wanted her to be part of the conversation.
This show would have been a good information for her. I mean, because she been dealing with land issue.
Yeah, no response from her. Nothing. Yeah, up to now. Yeah, I hope she's okay. No response.
Somebody calling me?
Yeah, I think I did. Oh yeah.
Okay. I mean, if you finish now, I can go. Huh? It's all right.
Oh yeah. We're good.
We're finished for the night?
We're finished for the night. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Good. I will send you the number.
Okay, please do. All right. Good night.